Hey, this is Cadillaktrackz. This is quick tip number 120. Today's quick tip is another quick tip about um about using custom drum kits inside of the Maschine MK3 and browsing those drum kits using the hardware. This is something that's been brought to my attention and something that I wanted to share with everybody on the channel. I'm trying to find a way I can describe this quickly because I just made a video. It was too long trying to describe this. But basically what I'm talking about is removing the types from removing certain types from Maschine. And what I mean is that, for example, when you have a custom kit and you bring it into Maschine, I've showed y'all how to do that on my last video. When that custom kit comes in the Maschine, it can pop up all these different types. Like, look at this. This is just an example of my samples, and it has these types. Some of these types I didn't even make up. Maschine made them up itself. And some of them are correct, some of them are not. Like, for example, this one right here, that sound. If I click on this type, look at it, it has one sound in it. I don't know how this sound and this type got created, but Maschine will create its own types. And if I don't want that, I gotta go down here and I gotta click on all the check marks, remember, and then push apply. Now that type is gone, it disappeared. And basically, organizing Maschine, you want to organize the type so that they're efficient. If there is a type there, it needs to be efficient. But what I've started to realize is that if you have a custom kit, I'm going to go into one custom kit specifically. This is my drum kit, my custom drum kit. And what I had my custom drum kit, and then I had a bunch of types here. And I started making more types inside of my custom kit. Pretty soon I had a type for all of my different sounds: 808, kick, snare. And I could go on my Maschine on the screen on the right, and I could actually browse those types. But what I've noticed is that it's really not efficient to have types inside of a folder that has folder structure already. And what I'm saying is, if you have a drum kit or a folder that's already structured and has subfolders in it, there's no reason or point to put the types in. It can actually be counterproductive. What I've noticed is that Maschine has a feature right here where it'll actually search the drum kit and it'll update the drum kit. So if I had this drum kit, for example, this is my drum kit, and today I went and I put new sounds in these folders. I added sounds to my drum kit. Well, I want to be able to browse those new sounds I added into the folders on my MK3. But if I have type set up, it won't allow me to do that because I'd have to add these new sounds into different types first. If I just wanted to browse them using the folder structure on my computer, it's important that I remove all types or subfolders that I've created. So if you go down here to library and you go to users, you can see that you have this option right here you might already have selected: scan user content for changes. That means that I can add new sounds into my drum kit folder. And once I've added those into the drum kit folder, I'll actually be able to browse to them immediately on the Maschine as soon as I start Maschine, because there are no types. And with no types being there, it'll actually just use the folder structure that my computer already has. And I can click right here, and these are folders that were already inside the drum kit. And if I click on a folder that had subfolders, it makes what it calls sub banks. These are subfolders that were already in the folder that I selected. And as you can see, there's no types here. So it's important to remove types from folders like custom drum kits, because otherwise the Maschine hardware won't update and you won't be able to browse to those new samples that you just added unless you go through the process of adding them to the types. And that could be a lengthy process for multiple folders. So this is just a recommendation, something I've noticed and realized using Maschine. I want to share that with everybody here. Removing the types from your custom folders, it can be really good and important. And just like I was showing you earlier on that other one right there, if I clicked right here on the samples and I went to all samples, you can see that if I really look into some of these types that Maschine created, some of them are just pointless. Like, there's nothing in them. I've consolidated a lot of them already, but like, I don't need this. Like, this is a Vox one. It has 3 sounds in it. This is an unnecessary, an unnecessary tag. So I need to select all these sounds, click the check mark and go to apply. And just organizing it like this, that way I can just go to the samples and I can browse using the folder structure I've set up on my computer. This is all the samples on my computer. So you can see that it actually does need some types. So sometimes types are good, But for the most part, you don't want to have custom drum kits with types because they won't update themselves as you continue to grow them. So this is Cadillaktrackz. This is just a quick tip for anybody on that level. Make sure you check out my quick tips on how to use Maschine and Fruity Loops, and also check out the custom MK3 template that I have. One.